No one expected this. Weeks after the mysterious death of Charlie Kirk's wife, a tragedy that already had the internet divided and haunted by unanswered questions, Elon Musk and Joe Rogan finally broke their silence. And what they said during that live conversation left millions of viewers in stunned disbelief. The clip spread across social media like wildfire. Rogan leaned in, his voice low and uneasy. Elon paused before answering, eyes locked on the table, then muttered something no one saw coming. The studio fell silent. The chat stopped scrolling. The audience froze. Because what Musk revealed about Charlie's marriage and what Rogan admitted about what he'd heard behind the scenes was darker than anyone could have imagined. Within hours, hashtags like hashtag Charlie Kirk widow, hashtag Rogan leaks, and hashtag ELON knows dominated every platform. But this wasn't just another viral moment. This was a revelation that ripped the mask off an entire network of secrets that had been carefully buried. And here's the twist. Multiple insiders now claim someone from Charlie's inner circle asked Elon to stay quiet before the show aired, and he refused. You're not ready for what they said next. Because when Rogan asked the question the world had been avoiding, Elon Musk's answer changed everything. The tension surrounding Charlie Kirk's widow had been quietly simmering for weeks, but it exploded into global chaos the moment Elon Musk and Joe Rogan decided to talk about it. What started as a subtle mention on the Joe Rogan Experience quickly turned into one of the most disturbing, emotionally charged conversations ever broadcast on the platform. To understand why this moment shattered the internet, you have to rewind to the chaos that followed after Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, was found unresponsive at their Scottsdale home just 3 weeks prior. Official reports said medical complications, but social media had other ideas. Some said it was exhaustion. Others whispered words like cover-up, stress-induced collapse, even intentional silence. Nobody could agree on what really happened, and worse, no one close to Charlie was talking. Not him, not his friends, not even Turning Point USA. Then came the funeral livestream, a short, quiet service. No statements, no eulogies from Charlie himself. Just him sitting motionless, staring straight ahead while cameras zoomed in on his face. People noted how strange he looked, detached, cold, like a man drowning in guilt rather than grief. The internet erupted. What is he hiding? Why won't he speak? Why are so many powerful people acting like she never existed? Rumors spread like wildfire, but none hit harder than the claim that Joe Rogan had been trying to book Charlie for an interview about mental health and leadership right before Erica's passing. Charlie never replied. Then, a week later, Elon Musk liked a cryptic tweet that said, "The truth always finds its way out, even from a coffin." No one thought much of it, until Joe Rogan mentioned the like during a live episode. He leaned toward Elon with that trademark skeptical grin and said, "I saw you like that tweet about Kirk's wife. Are you trying to say something, man?" Elon looked down, paused, and said quietly, "Let's just say, people underestimate how much pressure that world puts on relationships, especially when truth and image don't line up." Joe laughed nervously. "You're saying it wasn't natural?" Elon didn't answer right away. He glanced toward the camera, his expression unreadable, then said, "I'm saying I've seen text messages. That's all." The studio went silent. Even Joe stopped moving. "Wait," Rogan said. "What kind of text messages?" Elon hesitated, then added, "Ones that made me realize." She knew more than anyone realized. She was scared. A clip ended there. That single statement, "she was scared," detonated across the internet like a bomb. Within hours, hashtag she knew and hashtag Erica files were trending worldwide. Viewers flooded the comments demanding answers. What messages? Who showed him those texts? Was this what Charlie was trying to hide? And the craziest part? Within hours of the episode airing, Rogan's entire interview vanished from Spotify. No replay, no clip, no transcript. Gone. But not before a few viewers managed to record it. Snippets started leaking online. Grainy audio clips labeled things like Rogan, Musk, Raw Cut, and Segment 43, The Widow. In one of them, Elon could be heard saying, "You can tell when someone's living in fear. I think she wanted to get away, but she couldn't." Joe responded softly, "That's dark, man." Elon sighed. "What's darker is who told her to stay quiet." That last line sent shockwaves through political media circles. Fans started accusing powerful organizations of silencing Erica. Conspiracy theorists tied the death to the earlier Operation Revelation scandal involving Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, the theory being that Erica knew the truth behind the staged controversy and was ready to come forward. And just as the speculation reached its peak, a new piece of evidence surfaced, a supposed email Erica sent 2 days before her death. The subject line read, "It's bigger than him." Inside, one cryptic line, "They won't let me speak, but they can't stop what's coming." No one could confirm its authenticity, but the timing was impossible to ignore. Suddenly, Elon's cryptic comments didn't sound like gossip. They sounded like confirmation. And as viewers dissected every frame of that lost podcast, one thing became clear. Elon Musk didn't accidentally reveal anything. He was sending a message, but to whom? Because the next day, one of Charlie Kirk's closest former associates claimed to have proof that Erica's final days weren't an accident at all, and that her death was connected to a shocking betrayal that neither Elon nor Rogan dared to mention on air. The world was already spinning from Elon Musk's cryptic statements on Joe Rogan's podcast, but what dropped next sent shockwaves that made even the most jaded viewers shiver. At first, no one could believe the leak was real. A journalist for an underground media site posted a blurry screenshot at 2:14 a.m., captioned Erica Kirk's final folder. It contained what looked like fragments of private messages, unsent drafts, and one unfinished email that stopped mid-sentence. Within minutes, was reposted thousands of times. The first message was addressed to someone saved in her contacts as EM. The body read, "You said it would only be one story. I didn't know it would destroy lives. I just wanted to help the truth get out." That single sentence detonated across every platform. And people didn't have to guess twice those initials were Elon Musk's. But the next fragment made things even darker. They're planning another leak, but not the way you think. It's not about money, it's about removing him. Removing him. Who was him? Theories exploded overnight. Some said it was Charlie Kirk. Others swore she was talking about Ben Shapiro, the mastermind behind Operation Revelation. But then one last unsent line appeared in the thread, the one that froze everyone who read it. Joe was right, they always end up turning on their own. The internet erupted. Did Erica confide in Joe Rogan before she died? Did Elon know about it? Were the world's most famous truth tellers sitting on evidence of what really happened? Joe Rogan stayed silent, but Elon broke his own rule the next morning. At 7:03 a.m., he tweeted, "Truth is costly. Silence costs more." And right underneath it is single broken heart emoji. That was the spark that reignited everything. Within hours, thousands of conspiracy threads bloomed. Analysts started comparing Musk's tweet timestamps with Erica's leaked email drafts. The timeline matched eerily close. Elon had liked a post about Charlie Kirk's pressure campaign just 48 hours before Erica's final message was written. Coincidence? Not a chance, said the internet. But the story took an even darker turn when a new audio clip surfaced. It was posted anonymously to Reddit under the title, "The Conversation She Recorded." The audio was scratchy, background static heavy, but two voices were unmistakable: Erica Kirk and a man who sounded eerily like Charlie. Erica, "I told you I can't keep lying. It's not fair to them. Charlie, if you speak, you destroy everything we've built. Speak, you destroy everything we've built. Erica, maybe it deserves to burn. Charlie, you don't know what you're saying. They'll come for us both." Then silence, and then a whisper that still chills listeners today. Erica. Maybe they already have. The audio ends abruptly. The clip hit over 30 million plays in 12 hours. It wasn't just a scandal anymore. It was a murder mystery. Reporters flooded Scottsdale, digging into hospital records, emergency calls, anything. But the details didn't match up. There was no public coroner's report, no cause of death listed. Even her family refused interviews. And Charlie? He disappeared from social media completely. Then, as if on cue, Elon Musk posted again. A meme simple, unnerving, an image of a chessboard knocked over with the caption, "Game over." But whose move was it? The next day, Joe Rogan finally addressed it on his podcast. His tone was serious. No jokes, no laughter. "I've talked to people close to that situation," he said. "Something's off. Something's very off. That woman was scared of something bigger than her husband." Then he looked into the camera, and now everyone who knew her is pretending they didn't. That single statement turned the internet upside down. Within hours, Erica Kirk's name was trending again, this time alongside #coverup, #RoganMustTruth, and #JusticeForErica. But there was more, because Rogan wasn't done talking. He revealed that after Elon left the studio, he received an encrypted email from an unknown address. It contained a short video, 30 seconds long, that Joe claimed he couldn't legally show on air. But his description was enough to send chills through the entire internet. "It was her," he said quietly. "Erica," in what looked like her home office. "She's shaking, crying, whispering something about a meeting they were planning, and she says the name of the person who gave her the files." When Joe said that, his producer Jamie asked, "Who's the name?" Rogan hesitated. "Someone she trusted. Someone we all know." But he refused to reveal it on air. That single refusal turned the story into a feeding frenzy. Everyone from mainstream journalists to fringe conspiracy channels began tearing through footage, transcripts, and metadata, trying to identify the mysterious insider. Erica mentioned. Then a supposed insider from Turning Point USA came forward on an anonymous call-in show. The voice was distorted, but the words were chilling. She was going to expose the wrong person. That's why everything happened so fast. The files she had weren't about politics. They were about people. Names, transactions, recordings. She found out what Charlie did. And what he covered what? The host asked. The caller hesitated, then said, "Let's just say the scandal you all think you know isn't the one that killed her." The line cut dead. Within minutes, Elon Musk posted again. "I warned them. She wasn't crazy." And that's when a new unverified claim emerged, one that shook even Rogan himself. A document supposedly leaked from the Scottsdale police archives, labeled Kirk Case Private Evidence Log, listed a confiscated device described as encrypted mobile storage property of Kirk. Next to it, in red handwriting, contains communication logs with EM, the initials again, if real. That meant Elon had been in direct contact with Erica before her death. And if that was true, then Rogan's question, who did she trust, suddenly had a terrifying answer. Because if Elon had seen the messages, if he knew she was scared, then what did he do to stop it? The next 48 hours were a digital earthquake. Screens across the world glowed with theories, live streams, and panic. It wasn't just internet gossip anymore. Political talk shows, late-night hosts, and even global newspapers were dissecting every frame of Elon and Rogan's No Vanished podcast episode. At first, everyone expected both men to deny the connection. Instead, they went silent. Elon deleted his tweets. Joe skipped his next 2 episodes. That silence felt louder than any denial could have been. Then, late one night, a new video appeared under the username @IcaTruthVault. The title, The Final Backup. It was just 40 seconds long, but it set the entire world on fire. The video began with a trembling camera aimed at a computer screen. A woman's voice unmistakably, Erica Kirk spoke between shaky breaths. "If you're watching this, I didn't get out. He said he'd protect me, but he's part of it. They all are." Then she whispered, "Elon knows. Joe knows." They all knew. The screen flickered. A folder name flashed briefly. "Oh, are the Revelation files?" That was all the confirmation the internet needed. Operation Revelation. The phrase that haunted the political world after the Candace Ben Charlie fallout had returned. Only now it was attached to something even darker. Within minutes, the clip had 50 million views. Elon Musk's replies filled with accusations. "You knew. What were you protecting? Where's the rest of the file?" Hours later, Musk broke his silence with a single tweet. "The footage is real, but the story you're hearing isn't." The cryptic message was followed by another, then quickly deleted. "She asked me to help her send those files safely. They never reached the cloud." Screenshots of the deleted tweet went viral. What files? What was in them? If Elon had been the one helping Erica send something, that meant he knew what she was planning and who she was exposing. And then Rogan reappeared. He opened his next episode, visibly tense, eyes darting between cameras. "I've been told not to talk about this," he said. "But I don't take orders from anyone." He took a deep breath. Elon wasn't lying. There were files, videos, voice notes, names. She thought she was about to blow the biggest whistle this country's seen in decades. Jamie, his producer, cut in. "Do we know what's in them?" Rogan leaned forward, lowered his voice. "All I know is one of those files was labeled OR Ben 7 and it wasn't about money." The clip hit social media within minutes. Fans pieced together the code. OR clearly meant Operation Revelation. Ben 7 had to point back to Ben Shapiro, meaning Erica. Had evidence connected to the earlier stage scandal? But what did she uncover that was worth dying for? Within hours, an alleged whistleblower from a cybersecurity firm claimed to have accessed an encrypted backup of Erica's iCloud. They released a partial document, just one paragraph, but it was enough to make people sick. It read, "R wasn't just media manipulation. It was laundering. Information for influence. Donations rerouted. Truth traded for silence." The internet went berserk. Political influencers who once defended the Operation Revelation trio now scrambled to delete old posts. Even major networks began pulling archives of coverage about Candace, Ben, and Charlie. The implication was horrifying. If Erica's files were real, they exposed an entire network of political figures, donors, and influencers trading money for narratives. And if Elon had seen even part of that evidence, his ominous words on Rogan, "She was scared," took on a terrifying new meaning. Suddenly, questions turned toward him. Was he complicit? Was he protecting her or protecting himself? Meanwhile, leaked emails from Spotify's internal team revealed that Rogan's deleted episode wasn't removed for sensitivity. It was taken down due to governmental communication. In other words, someone powerful made a call. By morning, thousands of people were camping outside the Texas compound where Rogan films his show, demanding the truth about Erica. A helicopter hovered overhead as Rogan security escorted guests off the premises. Then came the shocking reveal. At 3 p.m., a Twitter account claiming to represent Erica's private legal counsel released an official statement. It said Mrs. Kirk's death was not self-inflicted. A reopened inquiry has begun under federal jurisdiction. Relevant digital evidence has been recovered. That single paragraph sent tremors through the media. But the second half of the statement was the real bombshell. One individual, previously interviewed publicly regarding this matter, is now considered a person of interest in the ongoing investigation. The internet exploded trying to guess who that person was. Theories flew along: Rogan, Ben, even Charlie. But within hours, a journalist from Politico leaked an unredacted version of the statement, revealing the initials of the suspect, EMELON, Musk. Every network lit up. Tesla CEO named in Erica Kirk probe. Elon Musk linked to Operation Revelation scandal. Stock tickers flashed red. Musk's companies began hemorrhaging billions in valuation overnight. Rogan rushed to defend him in an emergency live stream. He didn't kill anyone, he said. He tried to help her. He said she was being watched. She wanted to use his encrypted system to upload files. That's all, but the damage was done. Even as Elon denied wrongdoing. Insiders claimed federal agents had seized multiple servers linked to SpaceX's private communications. Anonymous staff sources whispered that the feds weren't looking for murder evidence, they were looking for missing data, Erica. Tried to send the night she died. And then, at midnight, at Truth Vault the same account that had leaked her final backup posted one more video. Just 5 words appeared in white text on a black screen. The files weren't deleted. The video cut to static, then flickered to a short clip security footage, showing a person in a hoodie entering what looked like a Tesla facility server room. The date stamp. The night before Erica Kirk's death, viewers froze. Was that Elon? Was it someone working under him? The clip ended abruptly, and as the screen faded to black, a distorted female voice whispered, "You thought it ended with me?" The comment sections blew up. People called it fake. Others called it prophecy. But one thing was clear: whatever was buried under Operation Revelation wasn't buried deep enough, because if that whisper was real, someone else had picked up where Erica left off. When the clip of the hooded figure inside the Tesla server room dropped, the world didn't just react, it exploded. Within minutes, the video hit over 60 million views. Twitter turned into a riot. CNN, Fox, the BBC, every major network cut into live programming to cover what they were calling the most disturbing digital leak in modern history. The question was on everyone's mind. Was Elon Musk hiding the files that got Erica Kirk killed? Hashtags dominated the internet. Hashtag ELON exposed. Hashtag Erica Files. Hashtag Operation Revelation. Hashtag Tesla Truth. Each carrying millions of posts filled with wild theories, screenshots, and emotional reactions. One viral tweet read, "If Erica knew what Operation Revelation really was, then Musk wasn't helping her. He was containing her." Another said, "Joe Rogan's silence is complicity. He heard the truth on air and let Spotify delete it." It was chaos. Podcasts that once idolized Elon now tore into him with vengeance. Conspiracy channels broadcasted 24-hour live streams, dissecting the hooded figure's gait and frame, arguing over whether it matched Musk's body shape. Even body language experts weighed in, pausing the footage frame by frame, highlighting shadows, claiming the way the figure moved shows familiarity with the environment. Meanwhile, the New York Times dropped a bombshell investigative piece confirming that federal agents were indeed reviewing encrypted systems connected to SpaceX's private servers, though Elon's legal team denied any wrongdoing. The report went further, revealing that the same federal cybercrimes unit that investigated the early Operation Revelation leaks was now coordinating with local Arizona authorities. That link terrified everyone, because if the two cases were connected, it meant the Candace Ben-Charlie scandal wasn't just political chaos. It was part of something much bigger. Then came the celebrity fallout. Joe Rogan's friends in the comedy world began publicly distancing themselves. Andrew Schultz tweeted, "The silence says more than the podcast ever could." Meanwhile, Russell Brand called the entire situation spiritual warfare disguised as a data breach. But the most chilling reaction came from Candace Owens. After months of silence, she finally broke it, posting a 10-second clip on X, dressed in black, staring dead into the camera. She said quietly, "I told you Operation Revelation wasn't over." No caption, no tags, just that. The clip racked up 40 million views in a single night. Fans flooded her comments with theories. Some claimed she had helped Erica. Others said she was next. One comment, with over 500,000 likes, summed up the collective paranoia perfectly. First they silenced Candace. Then they silenced Erica. Who's next? Meanwhile, Tesla's stock crashed 12% overnight. Reporters camped outside Musk's Austin headquarters, shouting questions he refused to answer. A leaked photo showed him entering a building with his security detail, his face pale, eyes sunken, a man who looked cornered. Joe Rogan, under mounting pressure, finally went live again. His stream title, The Truth About Erica Kirk. He started softly, visibly shaken. "I've been told not to talk about this," he said. "But everyone deserves the truth." Then he leaned forward, his voice cracking. "She wasn't crazy. She was brave. She reached out to me because she said she had something to give the world. Something that would destroy everything if it got out. I didn't believe her at first. Now I wish I had." He paused, visibly emotional. "Elon tried to help her, at least that's what he told me. But after that night, everything changed." He stopped replying. He went dark. Then she died. The live stream broke viewership records. Over 15 million people watched live, flooding the chat with disbelief, horror, and anger. Comments poured in. "He's admitting it. He's scared. They're covering something massive." By dawn, Rogan's clip had been re-uploaded across hundreds of channels, spawning documentaries, emergency podcasts, and even protests outside Tesla factories. Demonstrators carried signs reading #Justice for Erica and "Show us the files." But amid all the outrage, something else happened, something quiet, eerie, and impossible to explain. A new post appeared on the @EcaTruthVault account. No caption, just a single photo. It was a blurry still of Erica Kirk, smiling softly, holding a USB drive in her hand. Written across the bottom in faint text were 3 words: "I left copies." The image shattered the internet. Millions of users swore it was fake, AI generated. Others pointed out minute details, the reflection of a window, the shadow of her wristwatch, the texture of her skin, claiming it was 100% real. Elon Musk went offline completely. Rogan canceled his next 3 guests. And anonymous users began circulating rumors that the copies were hidden in multiple cloud accounts, programmed to upload automatically if certain conditions were met. Was Erica still one step ahead of them all? Because if those copies existed, if her insurance policy was real, then someone, somewhere could be about to unleash the unedited, full truth about Operation Revelation. And that would mean everything the world thought it knew about power, loyalty, and influence was a lie. For 3 days straight, the world had been hypnotized by Erica Kirk's ghost. Every image, every tweet, every whisper was being dissected by millions desperate to understand how a woman's death had spiraled into the biggest digital scandal of the decade. But as investigators closed in on Elon Musk and the mysterious @EcaTruthVault continued to post, something happened that no one, not even Rogan, could have predicted. At 2:37 a.m., thousands of Twitter users watching the @EcaTruthVault feed saw the screen glitch. The profile picture vanished, replaced by a black circle. Then a new pinned post appeared. "Stop blaming him. He wasn't the one who failed her." Underneath, there was a link to a hidden live stream. No one knew what it was until it started playing. The screen was dark, flickering. Then a man's shadow appeared, unmistakably Joe Rogan's silhouette. His voice cracked as he whispered, "They told me not to show this, but she recorded everything." Then, for 10 chilling seconds, Erica Kirk's voice filled the screen. "If I disappear, tell them it was because I found out who created Operation Revelation. It wasn't Charlie. It wasn't Ben. It wasn't Candace." She paused, breathing hard. "It was someone no one would ever suspect." The feed went black. Panic consumed the internet. Who was she talking about? Comment sections filled with frantic guesses. Elon, Rogan, even political names no one dared say out loud. But then something far stranger happened. The @EcaTruthVault account vanished. Deleted. gone without a trace. Minutes later, Rogan's live feed cut off too. His last words before the stream collapsed: "They're here," within hours. Rumors began to spread that Rogan's Texas studio had been raided by federal cybersecurity agents. Photos of flashing lights outside his compound hit Reddit, though skeptics called them staged. Elon Musk, meanwhile, posted a final message before locking his account. "She wasn't wrong. I just didn't stop it in time." That one line sent the internet into total meltdown. Did Elon just confess? What didn't he stop? By sunrise, Rogan's entire podcast archive had been taken offline for technical review. Spotify issued a vague statement about data integrity and legal compliance. But everyone knew what that really meant. The story had become too big, too dangerous, too close to something real. Then, a new account appeared. Its handle at @backupprotocol. The bio simply read, "Scheduled release, 11:59 p.m. Sunday." The tweet pinned to the top was a short video, a single flickering candle in a dark room. Over it, Erica's voice whispered, "They can't bury what's already been copied." The clip ended with white text flashing across the screen. Part 2, uploading. The internet collectively held its breath. Was this real or another layer of manipulation? Was someone keeping Erica's voice alive, or using her memory to finish the mission she started? Governments began issuing statements. It said only she wasn't the only one recording. The tweet disappeared minutes later, but screenshots spread instantly. Now the entire world is waiting, terrified, fascinated, and glued to their screens for midnight Sunday. Because when Part 2 drops, it won't just expose who killed Erica Kirk. It might expose who controls the truth itself. And now, the world waits. Midnight Sunday looms like a ticking time bomb, and everyone knows the next drop could change everything. The whispers have grown into a roar. Was Erica Kirk's silence because she uncovered the true architect behind Operation Revelation? Did Elon Musk and Joe Rogan stumble into something far bigger than they realized? Or is the voice behind @Backup not Erica's at all, but someone using her legacy to finish what she started? The truth is no longer a theory, it's a countdown. Every politician, every influencer, every journalist is watching the same clock, terrified of what might appear when that file goes live. Because this time, it won't just be leaked texts or hidden emails. It will be proof. But what if Part 2 isn't just about Erica's death? What if it reveals every name that built the lie? So here's what I need you to do. Drop your theories in the comments. Who do you think the mastermind is? Smash that like button if you believe the truth is about to explode. And most importantly, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because when that upload drops, we'll be breaking it down frame by frame, every word, every hidden symbol, every shocking secret. This story isn't ending. It's evolving. And when the clock hits midnight, the world won't just learn what happened to Erica Kirk. They'll finally see who's been pulling the strings all along. Stay ready. Stay watching, because the truth is coming, and this time, no one's walking away unscathed.